Try one.
Action!
What do we start off with?
You're just gonna introduce yourself.
Okay, you go first.
Is it good?
Perfect.
I hope I don't have eggs on my teeth.
You don't. Keep your proteins up, you need it.
Eat your boiled eggs, guys. Hi guys, welcome back on here. Welcome to another video. If you're new here, hi, my name is Elisabeth Kalande and I am currently a foundation year medical student at the University of Central Lancashire. And if you're not new, well, welcome back on here. Guys, as you can tell by the title of this video, we are doing a little what we wish we knew, something like that, about foundation year. And today I am with
Nadya. I'm also a foundation year student and I'm lucky to be Elisa's classmate.
Aw, she's so sweet. And also behind the camera we have
Lina.
so you'll be hearing her voice, but obviously you won't see her, in front of the camera. But still, she'll be giving some good insight as well. So as I was saying, we're just gonna talk about a few things that we wish we knew before starting foundation year. And I don't know if I mentioned it on here, but in this foundation year, we're all international students. So I think I have said that. And so we're kind of just gonna talk about our experience. And this is Nadya's first year in the UK. Yeah, and I've been here for 4 years, and it's also
My third year.
it's Lina's third year in the UK. So yeah, Nadya, Lina, what is one thing that you guys wish you knew before starting this foundation year here at UCLan?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So, for instance, I'm not sure if you mentioned, but this is foundation year for medicine. I think people come into medicine with the perception that you have to be the best of the best. So, imposter syndrome was a real thing for a lot of us. I do think a lot of people finish A-levels with really high grades, intending to do medicine, and do really well, and they compete with each other. And then suddenly you come into university and you realize that you're just average. And I think that a lot of people find that really difficult, that transition between being like the top student to just average. But I think that like for me, I had to change my mindset on it a little bit. I had to understand that, since that there are people better than you, it means that you have more opportunity to learn from them.
Very true.
You have more opportunity for them to help you. And I think that it takes time for you to understand that. But if you get over that curve of knowing that, you're not comparing yourself to anyone but yourself, then I think that's good.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And I think for me, one thing, it kind of goes hand in hand with what Nadya was saying, because coming from biomed, where I did really well, like I ended the year with the first. I thought, okay, you know what? It's just a foundation year. This is gonna be easy. I already know what to expect. I've been to uni before. Only to come here, as she said, and see that there are students who are much younger than you, but they're better at chemistry. They're better at math, at biochem. And I was like, oh my goodness. There was a point where I felt so like stupid sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, right? And so I had to tell myself, okay, it's okay to relearn. It's true you're coming from like a certain academic journey, but it doesn't mean that you will know everything. And that's like the thing that I learned, that just because you graduated and you're going into another program, it doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to be easy for you, right? Even though it's just a foundation year, there's still gonna be challenges. And so every challenge that comes, as Nadya said, you should see it as an opportunity to actually evolve, improve, and to learn from the people around you, even if they are younger. Don't be proud, don't think, learn from them. And I've been learning a lot, like from my classmates as well, and they're younger, but they're actually contributed positively to my experience here. So yeah, what about you, Lina?
So I would like to actually pick up on one point that you said, and it was the fact that sometimes you come in and you see like people that are older than you, and you're like, oh, like I'm a bit lost, how is this happening? And well, it's not something that I experienced with this foundation year, but mainly with A-levels, but I think you can experience that any time. It was just coming in and being like, oh my god, like I already studied so much back home, and obviously different countries have different like educational systems and stuff, so you're like, oh, like I already did all of this, and you're just frustrated because sometimes you're repeating stuff and you're like, I know this, and that frustration, that built up like anger, and everyone is doing it for the first time maybe, and sometimes they're doing better, and you're like, oh my god, I'm so lost, what is happening to me? But then again, it's just, you have an opportunity to just build on that like knowledge, you get better at it, and it's just, I'm so grateful for this year, because even though maybe as an older student, because I'm turning 21, you're like, oh my god, like I'm losing like my time, and I still have like 5 years to go, and I'm gonna graduate like way like older than other people. But the truth is, at the end of the day, you have more experience.
Exactly.
You probably by now either like identify the best way you learn,
or
like you just got your head wrapped around it, and you just like go with the bonus. Next year, where we're gonna join first year hopefully, with other students, we're just gonna have this like benefit of, we did body systems, we did biochem, it's fresh in our minds. So it's just like a really nice year of focus on what you're gonna do, boost yourself, and you're gonna start the right way.
We do have an advantage because a lot of people have that straight gap of going from A levels to living in a new country, and medicine, first year of medicine is so intensive already to begin with. So we kind of had this leeway where we comfortably moved from the UK to do stuff related to medicine and related to our first year, gained our confidence, made new friends, like got adjusted to the lifestyle here, and then we're more confident going into first year.
But that's very true, and I think do you guys mind saying your ages, or is it okay? Like,
that's fine.
That's fine. So Lina, you said you're...
I'm turning 21 in a few months.
So 21 this year. I'm 23, turned 23.
And I just turned 19.
And she just turned 19. And I know there's another girl in our course who's like 29.
She did 2 degrees.
2 degrees. I think I can say that's another thing that I've learned here, that you will meet all kinds of people, right? I don't know if I should say that was a comforting thing. I think it was a bit 50-50. It was comforting, but sometimes I did feel a bit lost because we have one thing in common. We're all internationals, but even though we're all international students, we're not the same. You've got different age ranges, you've got different cultural backgrounds, obviously, because you've got students coming from everywhere. And one thing that I've learned is that it's okay to not be, how can I say this? To not be best friends with everyone, but to be civil with people. You won't always be the best of friends with everyone, and that's okay. It's not something that you should feel like, okay, I'm a terrible person, I should go out of my ways to be everyone's best friend. No, not in a bad way. You're kind of wasting your efforts when you're trying to be everyone's best friend. So I think just like when you go into a new environment, one of the best things you can do is kind of like observe and kind of think, okay, where are the people that I can associate or that I relate to more, right? Maybe it could be because you guys have the same religious beliefs, right? Maybe because your cultural backgrounds are more similar. Maybe because you have the same interests or passions, right? You won't always be best friends with everyone, but I do believe that everywhere you go, you can find your people, as people would say. But obviously, always stay civil, right, with everyone. Always have a good relationship, speak with people, right? Be kind, be nice, because you never know what the future holds, right? You could be sitting next to your future boss, and if you are being a terrible person, you never know how that's going to end up for you. But obviously, be civil with everyone, but you don't have to be best friends with everyone. That's one thing that I learned.
I definitely say that don't try to fit into a mold, because is that the right word?
Yeah.
So because you'll end up like you giving yourself a different personality will hurt you at the end, because you won't feel comfortable. It will add so much, like you'll feel so much pressure. You'll need so much effort just to communicate and interact with people. At some point, you can't expect your like study journey to be all flowery and nice. Sometimes you're gonna wake up and be like, I don't know what I'm doing here, I'm so exhausted, I want to cry my eyes out. Sometimes you end up in an environment when there is no one like you and feel like so out of place. But I think that sticking with like your values, the way, like your own safe space is so important, because that's what's gonna hold you together. And that's what's gonna keep you sane.
Let's just turn it to a deep conversation. What?
We need the second point.
It's a podcast? What? I love this. Wow. No, but these are so good. These are so good. And I would say, for me, another thing that I learned from this foundation year is that just because something is hard, it doesn't mean that you can't do it, and it doesn't mean that you're not meant to be in a certain place. So why do I say that? Because I've said a lot on this channel how much I hated chemistry, how much math made me suffer during this foundation year.
Opposite.
Like,
I hated bio.
Honestly, like, guys, oh my goodness.
I loved math. I loved chem. I loved math. I hated bio.
You see? And I'm studying with people like this, right? So it's so easy to be like, oh my gosh, I hate it, I'm bad at it, medicine is not for me. But no, I realized, like, during this foundation year, I had to work hard, very hard, to like be okay at chemistry, and very hard to do okay at math, which I really hope that I passed. Well, you know what? I passed. Period. Okay, I passed. I had to work really hard, but like as I was putting in the work, putting in the effort, there were a lot of breaking down and crying and stuff like that. But in the end, I kept on pushing. I kept on trying. I asked for help. I watched videos. I put in the work and the hours. And this foundation year really taught me, because I thought, like, in my mind, I've always been terrible at chemistry. But after doing the biochem exam, I remember we already had our results for that. After ending like with an 85 in biochem, like I was like, okay, like, you know, putting in the work really pays off. And it just made me realize, no, I deserve to be in this foundation year as much as everyone else. It may take longer maybe for me to understand. I may not get it immediately, but just because it's hard, it doesn't mean that I'm not meant to be, you know, on this foundation year. So no matter what you are doing, like whatever subject or whatever, you may find that there may be a part of it that is hard, right? But it doesn't mean that you're not meant to be there. Something may be for you, but it doesn't mean that you're not gonna find it hard, like in the, you know, in this foundation year. So that's one thing that I've learned as well.
There's definitely heart in everything you do, good and bad.
Yeah.
You just choose what your heart is. Unless you
choose what your heart is, guys. Life is not all pink and roses.
That's for sure. Life is really not all pink, but as you said, and I want to emphasize it again, when they chose you to be in this course, they didn't know you personally. They didn't say, "Oh, I like Elisabeth."
Exactly.
Right?
That's
oh my
what
god!
I was gonna say.
That is so good.
You went through the interviews yourself, and there's like a really small chance you would have gotten in, and they chose you specifically
because they saw they saw you had the chance to progress. They saw in you the potential doctor, and you should see it in yourself as well. Obviously, try to be consistent, but don't expect yourself to wake up every day and do everything that you have planned. Because sometimes you'll end up having a whole week of complete, like,
bed rot.
You won't do anything, but just trust yourself that when you feel better, when you're in a better mental space, you'll be able to catch up, and that's the most important thing.
Completely agree. Something I came into this year thinking it would be, and I wish I knew before, was medicine has this really huge stereotype that everyone is competing against each other. And I think it's really important to know what your course is. So, for example, the way I applied to university was I made sure that it was a pass or fail. So I think that's really important to know if your uni is weighted against the cohort or not. And I think one good thing about UCLan is that the whole 5 years, the whole 6 years that we're doing is based on a pass or fail syllabus. So the only person you're competing against is yourself. And healthy competition is good. Competing against yourself, knowing that you can do better is good. But I think it's really important for me personally, I don't like competing against my peers as much because it kind of jeopardizes the ability for you to make good friends.
And I would say for me, another thing that I've learned from this foundation year is that foundation year is not equal to wasted year. Guys, don't think that your foundation year is just a year for you to come and play.
Nope.
It's just for you to come and enjoy life. Of course you can enjoy, like, right? Find the right times to enjoy. But guys,
You're still a med student.
you are, thank you, because people come in with this perspective of, no, it's just foundation year, I'll be a med student when I'll be in first year. No, it's foundation year of medicine.
Yeah.
So you are a med student. And I think maybe like I kind of came in with that mentality of, yeah, it's gonna be easy, it's gonna be okay, whatever. I didn't really think, let me prepare already to go into first year. And this foundation year has really taught me, because obviously coming from biomed, I studied a certain way that really didn't work, as much. It worked first, but then during my final exams, I kind of had to completely change my revision and techniques. I've heard many people like talking about foundation year say this, and after experiencing it myself, I can actually confirm that this foundation year is actually an amazing opportunity that you have to prepare for first year. So foundation year is an amazing opportunity to prepare. It's not a wasted year, definitely not. And it can kind of put you at an advantage, because people who go straight into first year, they go straight into like this intensive course, and it just gets more intense as you go into the the next years. So really, if you're going to take a foundation year, please go into it knowing that this is a year for you to prepare. What is the revision technique that works best for you? Maybe even create some friendships that you already know, okay, this person really motivates me, this person is a good influence when it comes to my studies, so I'm gonna stick with these people, right? Come into this foundation year already knowing what kind of relationship you want to have with your professors, like how to go and ask questions, how to address them, how to write emails. I don't know, but it's really some months that are good for preparation. So yeah, that's one. But yeah, guys, that's it. I think that was really good. And I think the things that we said were really, again, insightful. And even for me, I did this foundation year, but it's also still really good to have different perspectives, on what everyone else thought and what the people around you are thinking as well as they're going through this foundation year. Kind of makes you realize that you're not really alone, right? In the things, 100%. In the thoughts that you think and how you see things. But that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please don't forget to like this video, to leave a comment down below if you want. You can also share your perspective, comment down below, and you can share this video with anyone who is maybe going to go through a foundation year. It could be in medicine or another course. But we really hope that you liked this video and that you found it insightful. And yeah, guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.
'Cause behind every storm cloud, the light of the sun. Behind every loss is a battle that's won. I put my life in the hands of the one who made my